Hello everybody. So this is 8th lecture of nuclear physics. Let's talk about binding fraction. Binding energy per nucleon, that is called as binding fraction. That means binding energy divided by number of nucleons, that is binding fraction. So binding energy per nucleon, it is binding fraction which is denoted by Fb, F suffix B. And we know that binding energy, it is Zmp plus Nmn minus m. So this whole thing divided by A. Here if you will check this formula, we haven't taken into consideration c square. Basically the formula is mc square, but here we are assuming that all the formulas, they are in terms of mass. Anyways, mass and energy, they are interconvertible. So even if we are not taking c square, that is okay. Now this is very important topic from nuclear physics, which is graph of binding energy per nucleon versus atomic mass number. This is very important graph. Okay, so see this graph carefully. You can see that when the atomic number, it is atomic mass number, it is less than 20, that time the binding energy per nucleon, it is less than 8 MeV. As the atomic mass number increases, you can see the binding energy per nucleon also goes on increasing, and between 40 to 80 we can see the peak, which is around 8.7 MeV, and after that again the binding energy per nucleon decreases. Okay, so let's try to conclude what is the conclusion from this graph, and just note down this peaks also. Here you can see discontinuities in the graph. In between you are getting certain peak. Yeah, so these are the points to be noted from the graph. For light nuclei, Fb is very small. It rises rapidly with atomic mass number to a value 8 MeV per nucleon, and for A approximately 20, which is calcium. Yeah, at A approximately 56, which is iron, Fb has maximum value 8.7 MeV. The value of Fb decreases slowly for a higher A, and it drops to 7.6 MeV per nucleon. We get certain peaks. If you'll see the graph carefully, here we are getting peaks corresponding to A equals to 4, A equals to 8, A equals to 16, A equals to 20, 24 and all. That means for A equals to 4n, some notable peaks are observed, and that corresponds to extraordinary stability. That extraordinary stability in the sense, though for an element to be stable, it should have binding energy per nucleon of the order of 8 MeV. Now these elements, they have binding energy per nucleon less than 8 MeV, but still they are found to be stable. Now it rises more gradually with A and attains a maximum of 8.79 MeV at A equals to 56, which is the isotope of iron, and the elements which are stable, they are found to be abundant in nature. So which is the most stable with large abundance in nature. And then after that the curve slowly drops to 7.6 per nucleon for higher atomic mass number. When the atomic mass number, it is in between 20 and 180, variation of binding energy per nucleon, it is relatively small. Approximately it has a constant value in the range, with a mean value you can say 8.5 MeV per nucleon. And notable discontinuities which we have observed for Z or N equals to magic number. Magic number in the sense 2, 8, 20, 28, 50, 82, 128, these are magic numbers. So elements show certain properties which are extraordinary when Z or N corresponds to magic number. So we can see that when N is 20, 28, 50, the element is found to be more stable. The elements high on the plot are very tightly bound. Hence, to break apart one of those nuclei, one should have supply a great amount of energy per nucleon. And on the other hand, the elements which are lower on the left right side of the plot, they are less tightly bound. Therefore, to break them apart, less energy has to be supplied. So this fact clearly indicates that a huge amount of energy will be released. So basically here what we are talking about is two important processes in nuclear physics. One is nuclear fission, Second is nuclear fusion. So what is nuclear fission? Nuclear fission is splitting of heavy nuclei into larger ones, two masses which will be comparable to each other. So mostly heavier nuclei in the sense when the atomic mass number it lies between 130 and 155, then these nuclei they show the phenomenon which is called as nuclear fission. So when this process happens, huge amount of energy is released. Second is for light nuclei, when atomic mass number it lies between 80 and 110, that is 110, somehow this atoms, these nuclei, they have a tendency to fuse together and form a heavier nuclei, like hydrogen it will group together and it will form helium nuclei. So this process basically it is called as nuclear fusion, and whenever nuclear fusion takes place, that time also huge amount of energy is released. Let's talk about mass defect and cracking fraction. Mass defect we have already discussed. So what is mass defect? Mass defect of the atom is the difference between its atomic mass and mass number. So basically mass defect is ZMA minus atomic mass number A. Here we have to define a term packing fraction. So packing fraction is the mass defect per elementary particle in the nucleus. That means delta M upon A, that is nothing but packing fraction. So delta M we know it is ZMA minus A upon A, and we will divide both the terms by A, we will get ZMA upon A minus 1. If we shift 1 to that side, what we get is ZMA upon A, it is nothing but P plus 1. Now if we plot the graph of packing fraction versus mass number A, the nature of the graph it is like this. So what are the points to be noted from this graph? Packing fraction it is positive. See the graph. Packing fraction it is positive for the elements having mass number below 20. Now here when the mass number it is between 20 to 200, you can see the packing fraction it is negative, and packing fraction it is found to be 0 for this oxygen. Okay, and P is also positive for elements with atomic mass number above 200. So these points you have to remember, and thank you so much for watching.